Have you ever found out the person you trusted most was lying to you? I saw the truth with my own eyes. My private jet just landed at the airport. I came home early to surprise my wife, Elena. But I found a surprise instead. I walked into our bedroom, and I saw her. She was kissing her ex-boyfriend, Marco, in our bed. She did not hear me come in. She thought I was still far away. She still thought I was the broke man she married 5 years ago. She thought I had no money. She thought I was nobody. But I am not nobody. I am the owner of the biggest company in the country. And I have a plan. A plan for revenge. I will make her regret everything. Let me tell you the whole story. 5 years ago, I met Elena. She was beautiful. She was kind. Or so I thought. We got married. I told her I was a simple man. I told her I worked in a small office. I told her I had no family fortune. This was a test. I wanted to know if she loved me for me, not for my money. For 5 years, I lived like a poor man. I wore old clothes. I drove a cheap car. I gave her a small apartment to live in. But all that time, I had a secret. My real name is Daniel Castillo. I am the heir to the Castillo fortune. I own a giant estate with a big garden and a beautiful ballroom. I have a butler named James. I have more money than she could ever dream of. Elena always complained. She wanted a bigger house. She wanted expensive clothes. She said I was a failure. She said her friends had rich husbands. But I stayed quiet. I kept my secret. I watched her. I waited. Then, 1 month ago, I decided to end the test. I was going to tell her the truth. I was going to give her everything. The mansion. The fortune. The life she always wanted. But I needed to be sure. So I sent her a message. I said I was going on a business trip for 2 weeks. I told her I would be back on Friday. But I came back on Wednesday. I wanted to surprise her. I walked into the mansion. The butler, James, opened the door. He looked worried. "Sir," he said quietly. "She is in the bedroom. She is not alone." My heart stopped. I walked up the stairs. I heard music. I heard laughing. I opened the bedroom door. And I saw her. Elena. Kissing Marco. Her ex-boyfriend. The man she told me she hated. The man she said was in her past. I felt my world break. She was cheating on me. In my own home. In my own bed. She looked up and saw me. Her face went white. "Daniel," she screamed. "What are you doing here?" I did not say a word. I just looked at her. Then I turned around and walked out. She ran after me. "Wait! It is not what you think," she cried. But I kept walking. I had a plan. And it was time to begin. The next morning, Elena tried to call me. 10 times. 20 times. I did not answer. She sent messages. She said she was sorry. She said it was a mistake. She said Marco meant nothing to her. But I knew the truth. She was a liar. She was a cheat. And now, she would pay. I called my assistant. "Prepare the ballroom," I said. "We are having a party. Invite everyone. Invite Elena's family. Invite her friends. Invite Marco." 3 days later, the party was ready. The ballroom in my estate was beautiful. There was a giant chandelier hanging from the ceiling. There were flowers everywhere. There was a band playing music. People arrived in fancy cars. Elena's mother and father came. Her sister came. Her best friends came. And Marco came too. Elena walked in wearing a red dress. She looked nervous. She saw the mansion. She saw the chandelier. She saw the beautiful garden through the windows. Her mouth fell open. "Daniel," she whispered. "What is this place?" I stood on a small stage. I was wearing my best suit. The one that cost more than our old apartment. I held a microphone. "Welcome, everyone," I said. "Thank you for coming to my home." "Your home?" Elena's mother asked. "You live here?" "Yes," I said. "This is my family estate. I am Daniel Castillo. I own this mansion. I own the Castillo Company. I have a fortune of $3 billion. The room went silent. Elena's face turned red. Her hands were shaking. Marco looked like he wanted to run away. "But I have a special announcement," I continued. I looked at Elena. My wife, Elena, has been living a lie. She thought I was poor. She thought I was nobody. So she found comfort with another man. Elena's father stood up. "What is he talking about?" he shouted. I showed a photo on the big screen. It was a picture of Elena and Marco, kissing in our bedroom. The butler, James, had taken it for me. The whole room gasped. Elena started crying. "Please," she begged. "Daniel, stop this. You wanted a rich husband, I said coldly. Congratulations. You had one. But you destroyed everything. I turned to the crowd. This party is over. Please leave. Everyone started walking out. Elena's parents were shouting at her. Her friends looked disgusted. Marco tried to sneak away, but my security stopped him at the door. Elena fell to the floor, crying. But I felt nothing. Only cold, hard revenge. I walked to the library in the east wing of the mansion. I sat in a large chair. James brought me a drink. Sir, he said. Are you all right? I am fine, I said. But I was not fine. I was thinking about my next move. Because the revenge was not over yet. It was just beginning. 1 week later, Elena came to the mansion. She begged the butler to let her in. James called me. Sir, she is at the gate. She says she will not leave until she speaks to you. I said, let her in. Bring her to the library. When Elena walked into the library, she looked broken. Her eyes were red. Her hair was messy. She was wearing old clothes. She looked like a different person. Daniel, she said softly. Please listen to me. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I was stupid. I was selfish. But I love you. I always loved you. Did you love me when you were kissing Marco? I asked. No, she cried. It was just. I was lonely. You were always working. Or so I thought. Marco was there. He said nice things. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. I stood up. You broke our marriage. You broke my trust. You broke everything. I know, she whispered. But I can change. Give me one more chance. Please. I looked at her for a long time. I remembered the woman I married. The woman who smiled at me. The woman I thought I knew. But that woman was gone. She never existed. I have something to tell you, I said. Sit down. She sat in a chair. Her hands were shaking. I did not just test you, Elena. I tested Marco too. Did you know he works for me? He is my employee. I asked him to come to you. I wanted to see if you would be loyal. Elena's face went pale. What? Marco was part of the plan. He came to you on my orders. And you failed the test. Both of you. She started shaking her head. No. No. That is not possible. It is true, I said. And there is more. The apartment we lived in. The small one. I own the whole building. The car I drove. I have 20 cars in my garage. Every moment of our life was a lie. But it was my lie. And your cheating was your truth. Elena was crying hard now. Please, Daniel. You have 1 week to leave this city, I said. I will give you some money. Enough to start a new life. But I never want to see you again. She left the library. She left the mansion. She left my life forever. I stood by the window, looking at the garden. James stood behind me. Was it worth it, sir? He asked quietly. I thought for a moment. Yes, I said. Because now I know the truth. And the truth is always worth knowing. I looked at a portrait on the wall. It was a painting of my father. He built this fortune. He taught me one lesson. Trust, but verify. Now I understood what he meant. So what happened next? Elena left the city. I never saw her again. Marco lost his job. He disappeared. And me? I went back to my real life. I lived in my mansion. I ran my company. I took care of my estate. But something changed inside me. I learned that money cannot buy love. I learned that trust is the most important thing in any relationship. And I learned that some people will only love you for what you have, not for who you are. But here is the good news. Not everyone is like Elena. There are good people in the world. People who love you for your heart, not your wallet. People who stay when things are hard. People who are honest and true. The lesson is this: always be careful who you trust. But do not close your heart forever. Because real love does exist. You just have to find the right person. For those learning English today, remember this story. Remember the words. Remember the emotions. And remember that every mistake is a chance to learn. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next story.